Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence the 17th, and I was thinking recently about all the big events that have happened in my life, the life-changing events, the big moves that I've either made or have kind of been made for me in jobs, in relationships, in business, just where I live geographically, my family. I took inventory and I counted about a dozen different times in my life so far where there's been a big, huge upheaval, a big move. I feel like drama and computers in high school was a big move. I feel like emancipation and being able to go to college on my own terms was a big move. And then dropping out was also a big move. Deciding to go into local radio and to create a business that did DJ work and advertising stuff and moving to New York, the New York Connecticut corridor, moving to DC, getting married and having kids, a couple daughters, syndicated radio. That was a big, huge decision to make. And the first really out there, not relying on a big company kind of thing. I had a company called Dr. Mac. I would go around town in Washington, D.C., helping people with their Macintoshes. That kind of helped score big points with me in terms of learning customer service. Dot-com tech in particular was a big thing, a big move on my part, going to AOL and Google and Yahoo and Excited Home and places like that. Then LA on camera, making that big decision, moving from one coast to the other. Deciding to do voiceover coaching, and then Rehearsal Pro, and then who knows? There may be some more things coming down the. I don't consider this challenge of a one-a-day video a big move. It's just sort of a challenge. I'm talking about the times in your life when everything changes. Your address changes. Your income changes. Your schedule changes, your priorities change. And I wonder for you, what is it like when you are presented with a big move, things don't always go as planned, very strange things can happen in life, death, marriage, birth, firings, hirings, you can't predict these things, but there are things that you can choose to do. You can choose to make big moves. And I think that a lot of us get really comfortable where we are, with nothing wrong with that. But I wonder for you, what big moves do you have planned? Do you have any big moves planned? If you've decided to become a performer, that's a big move. That's a big move. So I want to talk to you about the two different types of big moves. One is when you plan a big move, and the other is when there's an unexpected move thrust upon you, right? So if you're planning a big change in your life, a big move, always understand your reasons. Why do you want to do this? Are you dissatisfied with what you're doing now? Is the grass looking greener on the other side of the move? Change is going to be really hard. And nothing is going to go exactly as planned. When my producer landed in Los Angeles and took a left out of Burbank Airport instead of a right, it meant that I got to live in Burbank as opposed to North Hollywood. And I kind of dig that. So you want to prepare as thoroughly as you can. This all came up when I was talking with Tristan about the actor business plan, planning, preparing, and making sure you set realistic expectations. I had no expectations when I came out here to do on-camera acting. I had no idea what was going to happen. I wanted to take my time with it. And I had no disappointments when nothing really happened for 3 or 4 years. I expected it to be longer than that. Make sure that you take one step at a time, but that you take those steps. Start with your left foot, put it in front of your right foot, then take your right foot, put it in front of your left foot. Even if the steps are little tiny things, take one step at a time, moving toward that goal of executing the big move. And be ready for things to go off the rails, because they will. Like I said, nothing goes completely as planned, and there are some things that are going to be terrible, terrible disasters. And if you're expecting that, it's much easier to handle than if it just knocks you square in the face and you didn't see it coming and you weren't prepared for it to actually come. And, be ready for these things to happen and accept them gracefully and recover from them. Share your successes and your failures with your team, whatever that is. If you've got people that you work with, people that are in your family, your friends that support you in this big move, share what's going on with them. Don't hide. Don't keep it to yourself. It's kind of selfish to share the successes or to not share the successes, but it's also really hurtful sometimes to your own well-being to not share and work through the failures and the lessons learned from those failures. And then take time to both celebrate your successes and examine your challenges, your failures, your missed opportunities. See what went on there. Do a post-mortem, both the good and the bad. That way you can do more of what works and less of what doesn't, right? So that's kind of like when you're planning a big move. When you're saying, okay, I'm moving to Los Angeles, I'm going to be an actor. Or I really want to work for the government, I want to run for office, I'm going to do that. I'm going to, whatever it is. That's when you're planning something. Now, what happens when, it wasn't planned. It was totally out of the blue. It was something that you didn't expect to happen. One of the things that you can do well ahead of something like that is kind of examine the things that are sometimes referred to as unexpected, but aren't really, like a death. It's expected. It may be unexpected when it happens, and it may occur at a bad moment. I don't know that there's a good moment for these things to occur, but what you can do is you can mitigate situations, and there are plenty of mechanisms in place to do that. Things like wills and insurance and emergency funds and a retirement plan, healthcare, things like that. The less you pay attention to those details, the more likely it is that there's going to be an unexpected event, right? But if you say to yourself, look, death and taxes, going to happen. And what else in my life is going to happen? Maybe I don't know when, I don't know how, but it's likely it's going to happen. So if you know these things, you can prepare for them. You can mitigate the impact that they have. And make sure you're clear on what actually happened, the problem that you're now facing and the solution. Talk with people on both, not just the solution, because sometimes we miss the actual depth of the problem or the actual opportunities that a potential unnerving and unexpected event can offer. So embrace those opportunities as well. But really look at what's happening. Don't be afraid to show how you feel, talk with others about it, share with others about it, and weigh your options. Don't just jump at one particular solution right away. Really take the time to see what you have in terms of potential solutions to the issue at hand. And as I said earlier, you never know what kind of opportunities. That old one door closes, another door opens. You never know what kind of opportunities, unexpected changes, big moves in your life can provide. So take some time to think about that. And in the comments below, let me know. You got a big move plan? You don't have to give me the details if you want to keep it secret. But do you have a big move plan? Is there something that you've always wanted to do? Something that you really feel strongly about, that you have on a bucket list, or that you just feel a calling toward doing? Or do you see something coming down the pike that maybe you're not as well prepared for as you like? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate you watching these videos every day as I make them. I feel like this challenge is going fairly well, but who knows? There may be some big moves coming down the pike. If you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click on my head there, or find a subscribe button somewhere below this on the page. If you want to see the latest video I've done, go ahead and click on that frame. YouTube will play it for you. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.